What's going on, folks? On the air with VA3EWV. It's a very nice Monday afternoon. 31 degrees here in downtown Ottawa, Ontario. We're about to get ready to get our big drive on and go from Ottawa to Cornwall. It's about an hour drive there. And I logged in with you guys to make the trip go by faster. It looks like there's very light traffic out there today. The government folks, they don't like to work on Mondays and Fridays for that big 4-day weekend come out. Anyway, I'm not on the radio right now. There's no mic that I'm using, so I'm going to play my little theme song. Then I'll turn on the radio, and then we'll get going. I have the camera on selfie mode. Hey, Lloyd, the camera is on selfie mode, which may make it seem like I'm on the right-hand side, like the right-hand side of the car, but I'm not. I'm just letting you guys know in advance, okay? So we're going to be listening to a couple seconds of my Rockin' That Drive at 5, and then we're going to get on there and see if we can get anybody to talk to us. All right, here's my little jam. My Drive After 5 music. What's going on, Tony? You guys put a hello in the comments and I'll message you back. What's going on there, Lord? Big E Drive at 5. Big E, rocking that Drive at 5. Yeah, that's right. Keeping it all alive. That's right. Funky rhythm. I like that part. He's a radio hero. That's what I'm talking about. On this long, cool ride. Big E, rocking that Drive at 5. Okay, so that's enough of that. I just like to have a little bit of a tune before I get started. Again, that was not on the radio. No radio in sight. No microphone in sight. I do not broadcast over the air, just so you know. We can use our radio in the province of Ontario too. Just want to let people know because some people do write in and say, hey, you can't be on your radio and drive. Well, thankfully here in Ontario we can be, so that's all good. Now, enough of yakking. We're going to get on national calling frequency 146.520 and see if we can get anybody out there on national calling frequency. Okay, now the radio's on. Let me turn the volume up. If you guys have been with me for any time, you'll see that I'm out there talking on the thing, and I think nobody's coming back to me, and it's because I have the volume down. All right, here we go. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor VA3 EWV Mobile. Anyone on frequency?
VA3 EWV Victor Echo 3 Oscar Tango Whiskey.
VA3 Oscar Tango Whiskey. Jonathan, good afternoon, good evening to you.
Well, good afternoon, good evening to yourself as well, Ernest. It's a beautiful day out there, a bit on the humid side, at least for my liking, but you know, it is what it is. Better than the white stuff. I'll take it any day. How about yourself? How have you been?
Good, and I'm glad that the sun is shining and it's good weather. Very, very light traffic coming into Ottawa this morning, and even lighter traffic leaving out of Ottawa today. I'm about to get on the 417 there to head eastbound.
Okay, very good, very good. Well, yeah, at least you have some. You have some.
Red light camera reported ahead.
I'm glad to hear about the traffic and that it was not as busy as you anticipated. So that's good to hear. And you're sounding like you're doing good on your end. So yeah, that's fantastic. That's great to hear and enjoying the nice weather mine as well too. You'll have to tell me about your Porta adventures there, Ernest. Did you activate any other Porta parks since we last spoke?
Well, I've been trying to keep busy, as you know. I started a CW course. I'm still very much trying to get my CW, so I'm practicing every day for at least an hour, broken up into sections, of course. So I have 8 letters in my pocket now that I'm pretty confident with. Working on that. As far as parks on the air, I did go to Upper Canada Village Bird Sanctuary on Saturday and had some life lessons. I had my inverter with me and I connected to the battery backwards. So, of course, it blew the 2 fuses, but I did not have any fuses. So I'm learning that I should have a pretty good kit with me, you know, when you're going out there to these parks. And I do have 2 antennas. I do have 2 microphones. I do have a couple of doubles because I see things happen. I never thought about having fuses. I do have extra batteries and stuff like that. But I like to do it at night, parks on the air at night. So which requires lights, and I just realized that none of my lights are battery powered. They all run off the inverter. So unfortunately on Saturday, I only got like 12 or 13 contacts because I didn't start until 7:30, and the bands were super good. So I couldn't find a nice little quiet spot. By the time I did, it was dark. I wasn't bummed out though. It's another lesson, and all the things I have to learn there. Over.
Oh, for sure it is. Well, that's half the fun, you know, just learning new things as you go. And yeah, another lesson, I take it. And at least you'll be more prepared next time. And the conditions are starting to improve. So even if everything went okay, I don't know how many extra contacts you would have received, but the conditions haven't been that good lately. But they have been improving. So that's good, especially 10 meters. 10 meters is starting to open up again, which is very nice to see. I'm very glad to see it. And yeah, the CW. I find 6 intervals, 6 times, 10 minutes a day. That's how I did it. You really have to break it up. You're absolutely right there. It is. You have to. You can't do it all at once. It's not going to stick. But yeah, break it up. And the fun part is once the speed increases, you'll have to start all over again. You think you know what it sounds like now, but when it gets a little bit faster, then you almost have to start from scratch. It's almost a different sound. I know it sounds weird, but it's a completely different noise that you have to comprehend when it goes at a faster speed. So yeah, but it's fun. Like you said, Ernest, it's all fun and good learning exercises to take in. So yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, as I said with the CW, that's going to open you up to new opportunities for sure.
Yeah, so Victor Echo 3 Oscar Tango Whiskey VA3 EWV returning. Yeah, VE3 BBW, I think I got the call sign right. When I uploaded my 12 contacts for Sunday, I know he runs that particular part of RAC there. I know he's going to be like, is that a typo? Because I was averaging over 150 QSOs per outing. And I've only been on 6 outings, believe it or not. That's it. It seems like a lot, but it's not. It's just that I just got my HF. And so people are seeing me talk about that. Other than Parks on the Air, I was very excited because yesterday I got my first round of being on the TransCanada net as a net manager, not net manager, but running the net. So I was very excited about that. And I did also get an email and a phone call saying that I'm going to be put in rotation for the Procom net. So yours truly, in under 2 years, have managed to get a lot of advice and a lot of people out there helping me. No matter what, I take it all in. And I'm very excited to say that I've had a successful net yesterday. And I'm looking forward to my Procom net rotation there. Over.
Well, that's excellent. Congratulations there, Ernest. Yeah, that's fantastic news. And yeah, actually, I was speaking to Ante BBW about you, and he asked if you were around for a long time. He couldn't believe that you were only been licensed for such a short amount of time. He thought you were licensed for 20 years. And he wanted to know, if you're coming back to the hobby. I said, no, Ernest is brand spanking new. He's tearing up the radio scene, and he's not here to fool around. He means all business. So I did speak to Ante, and he couldn't believe it. He wanted to confirm that you're brand spanking new, but I was able to confirm on my end. But that's great. That's a testament to your perseverance, Ernest. As I keep saying, I think you've done more in your short amount of time than most people have. You done a lot of stuff I haven't even done. So kudos to you, Ernest, and the Procom net. That's fantastic that you're taking on another net, and kudos to you, Ernest. Well deserved.
Yeah, it doesn't come without VE3 OTW, VA3 EWV mobile returning. It doesn't come without its bumps and bruises, it's good to be all excited and stuff like that. I've even had a guy write to me and he's like, hey, are you obsessed with Parks on Air? And I'm like, well, no, I've only been out 6 times. And that's just been since June to August, right? And, but I know some fellows that are out there. There's one guy I know, Stuart, VE3, I forget his call sign. But he was in my advanced class. He's done 50 parks it's either 40 or 50. But I replied to him on his YouTube channel. He's done 40 to 50 parks we only have 31 days in a month. Now he did take a couple weeks holidays, but I'm like, wow, that's a lot. Like, how can you do that many, eh?
Oh yeah. Some people they really get into it, and 50 parks, 50 parks in a month. Yeah, that's quite something. Yeah, but people really get into it. And for a lot of people, that solely means they have for HF. They don't have any other method for using HF. They live in an apartment or they live somewhere downtown. They don't have the space, so they got to do something outside. So. That's fantastic that you touch base with him, and you're starting to make a little streak of your own. But as I said, you have to dabble what you like and see what interests you, and stick with it. I know you dabble in many things, Ernest, but I'm sure that some things might stand out that you like more than others, and focus on those, and eventually down the road, and maybe later on you want to try new things, or even more new things, and a lot of options in this hobby. So that's good that you're getting the POTA streak started there.
Well, I look at it as practice for when Winter Field Day comes. I've noticed that this is just to me. I'm an amateur, not a professional radio operator. I'm a very amateur. I don't claim to know anything, actually. I'm just out here having fun. With that being said, I now am comfortable with talking on DMR. So at least once or twice a week, I do 20 to 30 QSOs on DMR, 20 to 30 QSOs on Fusion. I try to get at least 20 contacts on FT8. I, without a doubt, get 20 contacts on HF now. So the reason I do that, it's not what people think. My wife bought me an FT991 Alpha Shack in a Box. It has, as you know, 6 meter HF, UHF, VHF, and Fusion. And I told her that I would use every part of that radio because she paid good money for it. And she always laughs when I'm on the radio. She goes, well, I guess I made a good investment. And I told her I was going to use every mode on that radio. And I've been keeping true to my promise there. Back over to you, VE3OTW, VA3EWV Mobile for Station ID.
VA3EWV Mobile, Victor Echo 3, Oscar Tango Whiskey returning. Oh, very good. That's a good radio. The 991 Alpha there. That's a very solid rig that you have invested in. So, like you said, there's so many different modes and methods, too, that you could use. The one I mentioned before was, I believe, you'd have to do some research on your end. There's a 10-meter allocation for digital mode, specifically C4FM. Now, I don't know if it's the FM portion of the allocation. I think it's the digital portion. But I believe there is an allocation that people use for a 10-meter C4FM. So you can find some other people in the area who have it, and you can start a QSO with them on 10 meters, and you can even get a little net going on 10 meters there. When the conditions are good, you can even do some DX. Who knows? It's you have the C4FM, you have the VHF, the UHF, HF. It's you have everything there, like you said. It's a shock in a box. So I'm glad you're not disappointed with the investment.
No, and unlike some of my other friends that I see posting on Facebook, they're like, "Oh, the bands are bad today, so I guess I'll go do ABC," right? And I was like, "Oh, okay, well I'll see you around." They're like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm talking on DMR, or I'm talking on Fusion, or I'm talking on FTA, or I'm talking on Echolink," right? It's something. Hey, by the way, I had to in my 7 days a week, I had to rejig my schedule. I don't know if you know this, and I've never talked about it. It's not about radio. I am an English handbell ringer, and our season is about to start for English handbells, and they do it every Thursday night. And then, so before I moved to St. Andrews, outside of Ottawa, I was playing at the United Church across from Parliament there, that huge United Church there. I was playing at that church, and I was also given a conductor position for handbells right before the bell rang on COVID. So I was about to start conducting at that church another choir. I also played at Emmanuel United on Smythe Road, and I was playing also in Carp there at the Presbyterian Church. So just like everything I do, I'm hard practicing on my CW, but bell choir is about to start. So I like to be on top of my game on that, and so I'll be doing handbells. So I know on Thursday, I'll be in Ottawa on Thursday nights a lot, because that's when we have to practice. But the wife told me already, you can't go and do 3 handbell choirs, and you're doing all this radio stuff too. You got to leave some time for me there.
Oh yeah, I totally get it. It's. I think you told me before. I think Christmas was a busy time for you. That you toured different churches. I vaguely remember this conversation. That's great. That's great. Thank you for the refresher. That's very interesting to hear for sure. It's quite a niche talent as well too. To do that sort of thing. And I guess you have to pick your priorities, but like you said, you have to be on top of your game. But the nice thing is, what I've heard is people who are more musically inclined, they can pick up CW faster, they say. So the two might go hand in hand, they might help each other. But yeah, I guess as the bell season is around the corner, you have to, like you said, get your game on and make sure you're tip-top shape before you start touring. I completely get it. But it's just about balance, I guess. You have to balance out different priorities and what you want to do and what could be put aside and go from there.
Yep, that's a big Roger that. Hey, one other thing that was some good news last week, since I'm playing catch up, because I think I've only talked to you twice in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Remember I told you I was trying to get into the nursing homes in Cornwall there? I finally got a call back last week. I almost fell over. It was from Chartwell Nursing Homes. So if everything works out, what I want to do is on the Monday night net that I run every Monday night, I want to go set up shop over there around 6:30 with some questions and things like that, and then do my net from that place. The reason being, I was looking around to see if people that were in these facilities, senior living, all that, may have had ham licenses. So I called around and asked all the people to query their residents to see if they had any ham operators or anybody that would be want to get in the hobby, because everybody is not 1,000,000 years old that are in these facilities. Some just need assisted living, right? So I was wanting to bring the radio hobby there. So a lady, I passed the first, I guess, part. She's going to be talking to her manager, and I'm going to be trying to get something going on with the Chartwell nursing homes there. That's pretty cool. I hope it all works out for me.
Well, that's excellent news. That's fantastic to hear. I know that you're interested in that outreach before, and congratulations on getting in. That's fantastic. And you know, if it takes off, you know, maybe places might take interest as well too. That's good. You made a plan, and it came through, and hopefully it picks up some momentum. And you know, maybe other clubs can do it, and it might be a trend. That gets picked up in the amateur radio community, but I know you're earnest. You're going to go full speed ahead on it. So that's fantastic news. It sounds like it's been a very exciting couple of weeks. So congratulations on that, and hopefully they will appreciate the hobby of amateur radio once presented.
Well, I've met a couple, yeah, for sure. I've met a couple of people like me. I'm 56. And I just got my license at 55, right? And I got my HF at 56. And there are a lot of people who are just, you know, they've had some type of medical issue happen, and they don't have family to take care of them. Remember, my mom worked in a nursing home for 30 years. So for all my junior high and high school, I was going to nursing homes every day after school. And some people they've outlived all their family. The reason I brought that up is some people sit there, and yes, they have other people at the nursing home, but it's kind of like living on the same street, you know? You get tired of talking to the same people. So with this, you can reach out and talk to the world. So my hope is for the people who have a lot of life left into them, they can get into the hobby and pick up their cell phones and tablets and get on things like Echolink or get a hotspot. Because when I did the TransCanadaNet on Sunday, there was a lot of people that were going into hotspots because they don't have infrastructure in their communities. They're going through hotspots. One guy was going through hotspot to get into the DMR, to get into the Echolink or something like that, I forget, to get on the net. So I'm going to try to bridge that gap there. Over.
Well, very good, very good. I never knew that about your mother. That's quite interesting. Okay. So I guess that explains a bit of that story. And yeah, that's fantastic that you have that opportunity, and now you're putting the plan to fruition. And yeah, if you could help people in need, you know, why not? By all means, certainly. It sounds like a very interesting initiative for sure. And you're right, sometimes people, they don't have family, or you know, it's a sad situation that people find themselves in. And if you can help them out just a little bit, I think that's just absolutely fantastic. So I hope the project goes well. It's a very interesting idea, and hopefully it picks up some speed, especially in the amateur radio community.
Yeah, I hope so too. So Jonathan, I'm about to hit Calypso in our usual spot. I'd like to thank you for spending some time with me today. I smile every time I hear you out there. And thanks for all the support and all that stuff you give me. And for listening to me for at least 30 minutes of my trip home every day. So with that, I'll release you on your final there. I'll cut off on your final there. VE3OTW, this is VA3EWV, saying 7-3 on your final.
All right, Ernest, very good. Well, it was a pleasure speaking to you today as well, and hopefully you have a safe trip back. If the traffic is light, hopefully it should be an easy trip there. But all the best to you, Ernest. I'm glad to hear about the catch-up and what's new, and the new initiatives that are happening, so that's fantastic. I hope you have a great ride back, and hopefully we'll speak soon. VA3EWV, Victor Echo 3, Oscar Tango Whiskey. Take care. This is Darren at 7-3.
7-3. Have a good rest of your day. Alright, folks. So that's all of that. We have ended the show, the QSO there on the national calling frequency there.